Imagine a universe where every glance, every thought, every fragment of attention holds an almost magical power of transformation. A universe where you are not just a passive spectator, but the true architect of your reality. Observation is not merely an act of seeing, it is a portal of creation. Every time we direct our consciousness, we are literally painting the contours of our existential experience. It's not about what happens to us, but how we interpret and focus our energy. We are living in a unique moment in human history where science is beginning to validate what ancient spiritual traditions have always known. Our consciousness is not just a spectator, but a transformative force. Every thought, every fraction of attention carries an energetic frequency capable of shaping our deepest reality. In this video, you will see beyond the obvious. We don't just want to explain concepts. We want to spark an internal revolution. We want you to understand that you are not limited by external circumstances. You are a conscious creator of your own journey. The power of observation goes far beyond simply looking. It is a state of total presence, where your consciousness expands beyond physical limits, connecting with the infinite intelligence of the universe. Get ready for a transformative journey where every word will be an invitation to awaken your true creative essence, where you will discover that what you focus on, you quite literally become. Core concept: the power of observation. Quantum physics presents us with a universe that is surprisingly different from what our limited senses perceive. Imagine that reality is not fixed, but an infinite field of possibilities that materialize precisely at the moment they are observed. Scientists like Werner Heisenberg have already demonstrated that the simple act of observation can completely alter the behavior of subatomic particles. This means that our consciousness is not just a passive receiver, but an active agent in transforming reality. The power of observation operates on subtle layers of perception. We're not just talking about seeing with physical eyes, but about a conscious observation that transcends dimensions. It is a state of presence where you are not just registering reality, you are co-creating it. Our mind functions like a prism that decodes infinite frequencies. Every thought, every fraction of attention emits a specific vibration that directly interacts with the universal field of possibilities. When we focus consciously, we are tuning our energy to specific realities. Think of observation as an internal radar. We don't always perceive with our physical eyes, but with our vibrational intelligence. There are realities occurring simultaneously that only become perceptible when our consciousness recognizes them. Conscious observation is not an abstract concept, but a fundamental principle of creation. Every time we direct our attention, we are literally choosing which frequencies we want to materialize in our lives. Ancient spiritual traditions understood this principle long before quantum physics. Zen masters, shamans, and mystics have always known that reality is plastic, moldable by our consciousness. Our brain processes millions of pieces of information per second, but only a small fraction reaches our conscious perception. The power of observation lies precisely in expanding this window of perception, allowing us to access realities beyond the seemingly visible. Observation is not a passive act, but a state of active creation. When we understand that we are co-creators, we stop being victims of circumstances and become conscious architects of our reality. Every thought, every fraction of attention carries a specific frequency, like invisible waves constantly interacting with the universal field of possibilities. Learning to direct this energy is the true secret of conscious manifestation. Have you ever noticed moments in your life when your attention seemed to attract certain experiences? Share in the comments how your conscious observation has already transformed a situation. The power of attention and internal state. Attention is not just a visual act. It is a complex energetic state that permeates every cell of our being. Our internal state acts as a vibrational filter, selecting and attracting specific experiences. Imagine your consciousness as a sophisticated antenna, constantly tuning into frequencies. When we are in a state of anxiety, we automatically pick up situations that feed that same vibration. When we radiate tranquility, we attract harmonious experiences. Contemporary scientists have proven that our nervous system does not fully distinguish between a real experience and an intensely imagined one. This means our internal state has the power to generate physical and emotional responses identical to those produced by actual situations. The quality of our attention directly determines the quality of our experiences. It is not external events that define our reality, but our interpretation and internal focus. Every thought emits a unique energetic frequency, acting as a silent call to corresponding experiences. Eastern traditions have understood this principle for millennia. In Zen meditation, for example, the goal is not to eliminate thoughts, but to observe them without judgment, creating a state of expansive awareness. This practice allows us to recognize our internal patterns without fully identifying with them. Our energetic field is like a subtle magnet, constantly attracting or repelling experiences. When we cultivate an internal state of abundance, gratitude, and possibility, we create a vibrational environment that naturally attracts aligned opportunities. Neuroplasticity scientifically proves that we can literally rewire our neural patterns through conscious attention. Every time we direct our energy toward positive states, we create new brain circuits that allow us to perceive different realities. Conscious observation works like an internal rudder. We may not control every external wind, but we can adjust our course through our internal state. Every breath, every thought, every fraction of attention are subtle movements that reshape our trajectory. It is not about trying to control everything, but about developing a flexible and conscious presence. Learning to observe our internal states without judgment allows us to consciously choose which frequency we want to inhabit. The mastery of attention lies in understanding that we are much more than our momentary thoughts. We are pure consciousness, having a temporary human experience with the infinite power to reshape our reality at every moment. Manifestation through conscious observation. Manifestation is not a magical act, but a scientific process of vibrational alignment. Imagine your consciousness as a sophisticated transmitter, constantly sending signals to the universe, which responds with precise accuracy. Every experience we attract is a direct result of our internal frequency. These are not coincidences, but energetically orchestrated resonances shaped by our attention. When we understand this principle, we cease to be passive spectators and become conscious architects of our reality. The universe operates as an intelligent field of possibilities. Our observation does not merely record reality, it literally collapses possibilities into concrete experiences. It is as if every gaze were a brushstroke painting the contours of our existence. Studies in quantum physics show that subatomic particles change their behavior simply by being observed. This principle applies directly to our human experience. What we observe with conviction, we sustain in our reality. It is not about compulsively wanting, but about creating an internal state of certainty. It's like tuning a radio precisely to the frequency of what we wish to experience. Every thought, every emotion, every fraction of attention acts as a subtle command to the field of possibilities. Practices such as conscious visualization, anticipatory gratitude, and vibrational alignment are not mystical techniques, but scientific protocols for energetic reorganization. When we sustain an internal state of abundance, we generate a magnetic field that naturally attracts corresponding experiences. Conscious observation transcends linear thought. It is a state of presence where you simultaneously desire and already celebrate the experience. There is no separation between the dreamed and the realized. Both coexist within the same quantum field. Our brain does not fully distinguish between an intensely imagined experience and a physical experience. Every visualization infused with clarity and positive emotion serves as a vibrational rehearsal for manifestation. True manifestation happens when we abandon the energy of wanting and embrace the energy of being. It is a state of inner certainty where external reality does not determine our frequency, but adapts to it. Philosophical and energetic references. The understanding of the power of observation is not a contemporary concept, but an ancient wisdom that spans millennia of human knowledge. Long before the advances of quantum physics, ancient spiritual traditions had already grasped the deep connection between consciousness and reality. Buddhist masters, over 2,500 years ago, taught that reality is a mental construct, a direct reflection of our consciousness. In Zen philosophy, the concept of no mind suggests a state of pure observation, where we cease to interpret and simply perceive reality in its essence. South American shamanic traditions have always understood reality as a malleable energy field. For indigenous peoples, observation was not a passive act, but a sacred dialogue with the universal energy field. In Egyptian Hermetic tradition, the principle, as above, so below, already pointed to the correspondence between internal states and external realities. Each thought was understood as a seed capable of germinating into complex realities. Modern quantum physics validates what these traditions have always known. Consciousness is not a mere spectator, but an active participant in reality creation. Scientists like David Bohm developed theories about the implicate order, a field where all possibilities coexist simultaneously. Contemporary philosophers like Rupert Sheldrake introduced concepts of morphogenetic fields, suggesting that consciousness operates beyond physical limits, creating fields of information that directly influence manifestation. Ancient Western mystical schools, such as the Rosicrucians, taught techniques of inner alchemy, where the transformation of consciousness was seen as the true method of altering external reality. What these different traditions share is a fundamental principle. Our consciousness is not separate from the universe, but an integral part of an intelligent and interconnected field. Conscious observation, therefore, is not a modern technique, but a universal principle that transcends cultures, eras, and knowledge systems. It is an invitation to recognize our role as co-creators of our experience. Practical techniques and exercises. The journey of conscious observation is a subtle art that develops with practice and dedication. Imagine your consciousness as a muscle that must be trained daily, capable of expanding your perception beyond conventional limits. First, understand that observation is not a passive act, but a state of total presence. In the initial moments of practice, many people are surprised by the amount of mental noise they experience. This is normal. The process is like cleaning a fogged-up window, where each conscious breath removes a layer of limited perception. Breathing becomes your first tool for connection. Breathing is not just a biological act, but a gateway to expanded states of consciousness. When you learn to breathe intentionally, creating a rhythm where each inhale brings clarity and each exhale releases tension, you begin tuning into a different channel of perception. Conscious visualization works as an internal laboratory where you design your reality. It is not about compulsively wishing, but about creating such a deep state of certainty that your energy already vibrates in the field of realization. See yourself not as someone who wants something, but as someone who is already experiencing that reality. Develop the practice of observation without judgment. Your thoughts are like passing clouds in the sky of your consciousness. Do not try to control them, just observe. Each thought that arises is information, not a definitive sentence about your life. Meditation becomes an internal laboratory where you calibrate your frequency. It does not have to be a complex ritual. It can simply be a few minutes of presence, where you connect with your essence beyond transient thoughts and emotions. Create an internal dialogue of possibility. The words you use within yourself are seeds that will shape your reality. Replace limiting narratives with affirmations that expand your perception. It is not about denying challenges, but about seeing beyond them. The practice of gratitude works as a vibrational amplifier. When you express gratitude not only for what you already have, but also for the possibilities that are forming, you create an energetic field of abundance and openness. Understand that each exercise is a subtle conversation with the universal field of possibilities. There is no perfect technique, only conscious presence. Your intuition will always be your most precise guide on this journey of expansion. Personal transformation through observation. Personal transformation is an archetypal journey of reconnection with our deepest essence. An alchemical process where conscious observation acts as a sublime catalyst for inner metamorphosis. It is not about cosmetic or superficial change, but a silent revolution that reshapes the very foundations of our existence. Imagine your life as a multidimensional universe, where every thought, emotion, and memory forms living constellations in constant motion. Conscious observation allows us to be both the astronomer and the stars of this existential journey, navigating our inner landscapes with serene courage and an almost childlike curiosity. Our behavioral patterns are like ancient rivers carving their paths through decades of experience. At first, they seem unchangeable, shaped by familial, social, and cultural conditioning. But conscious observation acts as a subtle geological force, gradually reshaping these paths, creating new streams of possibility, new internal geographies. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient shamanic and spiritual traditions have always understood. Our brain is not a rigid structure, but an infinitely plastic and adaptable energetic field. Every moment of conscious observation acts as a precise chisel, sculpting new neural connections, exponentially expanding our capacity for perception, response, and creation. Transformation does not mean eliminating our shadows, but illuminating them with the purest light of consciousness. Our challenges, fears, and limiting patterns are not enemies to be fought, but messengers carrying invaluable information about our evolutionary journey. When we observe them with radical compassion, they lose their power over us and transform into allies for growth. True transformation happens in the subtle, almost invisible spaces between one thought and the next, between one breath and another. It is an organic process, like the silent growth of a seed before it breaks through the earth. It does not occur through force or sheer willpower, but through presence, acceptance, and unconditional love. Our identity is revealed not as a fixed structure, but as a dynamic field of possibilities in constant motion. We are like waves in the ocean of consciousness, always changing, always flowing, always recreating ourselves at every moment. Conscious observation allows us to ride these waves with an almost divine grace, blending lightness with purpose. The emotional patterns we carry are like layers of an ancestral onion. Each layer removed through conscious observation reveals new dimensions of our being. It is not about eliminating these layers, but deeply understanding them, honoring their original function, and, when necessary, releasing them with gratitude. Our connection to the universe ceases to be an abstract concept and becomes a visceral, tangible experience. We perceive our deep interconnection with the entire energetic field. Every thought, every action, every fraction of attention resonates beyond our individual limits, creating ripples that travel through dimensions and feed back into the quantum field. Our journey of transformation teaches us that the most profound change does not come from mental effort, but from conscious presence. Not from struggle, but from acceptance. Not from correction, but from unconditional love. We learn that we are simultaneously the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation, in a spiraling movement of evolution. Conscious observation reveals fundamental truths. We are far greater than our linear thoughts, far deeper than our conditioned fears, and infinitely more powerful than any historical or cultural limitation imposed upon us. Each moment of conscious observation is an act of liberation. Liberation from old patterns, liberation from limiting narratives, liberation to become the most expansive version of ourselves. The journey of conscious observation transcends the boundaries of what we perceive as reality. It is a portal of transformation that opens with each breath, a constant invitation to expand our awareness beyond known limits and awaken the infinite intelligence that inhabits every cell of our being. We discover that we are not mere passive spectators, but conscious architects of our reality. Each moment of presence acts as a divine brushstroke, each thought a precise stroke on the infinite canvas of existence. Observation is not just a technique, but a state of being that reconnects us with our deepest and most universal essence. The universe operates as an intelligent field of possibilities, constantly conspiring in our favor. However, we can only perceive this orchestration when we develop a truly expansive awareness. It is not about rigid control, but about flowing with intelligence, not about manipulation, but about co-creating in harmony with the invisible intelligences that weave our multidimensional reality. Our journey has revealed that authentic transformation does not happen through external forces, but through the silent revolution of consciousness. Each conscious breath is a sacred dialogue with the subtle frequencies of the universe. Each moment of presence becomes an opportunity for realignment. Each challenge a portal to deeper and more meaningful understanding. The power of conscious observation lies in the ability to look without judgment, to perceive without resistance, to experience without attachment. It is a state of total openness, where we become both the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation, in a continuous spiral of evolution. We understand that our reality is not fixed, but a field of possibilities in constant motion. Every thought emits a frequency. Every emotion creates invisible waves that traverse dimensions. We are far more than our social conditioning, far greater than our limiting fears. Transformation manifests in the subtle details, in the pauses between thoughts, in the spaces of inner silence where our personal revolution gains strength and meaning. It does not depend on grand external events, but on the quality of our presence, the depth of our observation. Our invitation is a silent revolution. Cultivate curiosity as a permanent state of being. Become a lifelong student of existence, where every experience translates into growth, every challenge into an opportunity for expanding awareness. Rise as a conscious observer, not as someone who simply watches life pass by, but as an active creator who deeply understands their power of manifestation. Every thought is a seed, every moment of attention a fertile field of infinite possibilities. Your true power does not lie in what you control, but in what you can observe with love, acceptance, and genuine curiosity. Conscious observation is the most direct path between dormant potential and concrete experience, between the dream and its manifested reality. The universe constantly whispers in a subtle, profound language. Learn to listen beyond sounds. Learn to observe beyond the visible. Learn to be beyond known limitations. Your journey of transformation is not a final destination, but a continuous process of awakening. It does not begin tomorrow. It does not depend on the external conditions. It begins now, in this very moment, with your willingness to be truly present.